everyone, welcome back to my channel. As in the previous lecture video, we have discussed that what are CSS and how to add CSS in your web pages and in your website. And in today's lecture video, we will discuss what are CSS selectors and how do they work and how do they run in our web pages. And we will also discuss about its types, that how many types are there and how do they work. So let's get started. Okay, so in today's topic there are some certain questions that we need to answer, that what is a CSS selector and what types of CSS selectors are there. And there are basically 7 types of CSS selectors with example. So first of all, we will do that what is a CSS selector. So basically CSS selector is used to select the HTML, and you want to style your web page or your website. So here is a basic structure, like for example, here is the selector, and we will give a property to it. For example, here is a selector and we give a property to it. It can be anything, h1, h2, value, then we'll give a value to it. It can be also anything, it's your choice. Then we will close it like the angle bracket or the closing bracket. So here is the selector, and within the selector here's your property and here is your value. So we'll give an example of it, that we'll give a quick example of it. I will remove this one and I will give an example of it, that let's suppose we take P as the selector and property as the color and value as blue. So here, and the closing tag. So here the selector is the P, the property is the blue color, and the value is the blue. So here was the quick example of the first code. Okay, so this means that you have to apply color blue to all the P elements on the page. Like if there is a P on your page, so you have to apply all blue color on it. It should be blue. Okay, so now we will discuss its types, that there are 7 types, but what are they? So the first type, it is universal selector. The second one is element selector. I will write down it quickly. Universal selector. The third one is class selector. We will also discuss it later, but first we will discuss its types. This is the third one. The fourth one is the ID selector. The fifth one is the group selector. The sixth one is the descent selector. And the last but not least, it is the 7th, which is the child selector. So these were the some types of our selectors. That first is the universal, element, class, ID, group, descent, and the child selector. Okay, now we will discuss it one by one. First is the universal selector. That what is universal selector? So basically, wait a minute, I will write it quickly. Universal selector. So basically in universal selector, you select every element on a page. For example, on a page it contains also the margins, the paddings, and the etc. So it contains the universal selector. It contains also, for example, there is 0 and 0. You will add a value to the margin and you will add it to the padding. So for example, I will write a value for the margin that the margin must be 3, the padding must be 6. So here I will give an example of margins and padding, that you have to select every element on the page. Now here is the element selector, that what is element selector and how it is used. Element. So basically an element selector, in element selector you have to select all the h1 elements that contains the h1 elements. For example, we have given an example that h1 and the color is, for example, green, and the closing. So here you have to select all the h1 elements and you have to click on it and you have to select green color, because you have to, here is the green color, so you have to give all the green color. Now the third one, which is class selector, that what is a class selector. Sorry, I have written it wrong. What is class selector? So basically class selector target elements with the class box and an HTML div div and the class is equal to box. Okay, we'll give an example of it, that for example box, in class selector box, here is the border, and the border, for example, we will give it 1px. Here is the border value and it should be a solid box, black, solid black. Like here is the value and here is the color, that they in the box there should be a border and the border value is 1px and its color is solid black. So it was the class selector. Now the fourth one, which is ID selector, that what is ID selector and how it is used. ID selector, that what is ID selector. Okay, in ID selector you target elements with the ID header in HTML, and div ID is equal to header, like for example hashtag header, hashtag header, bracket, background, color is equal to light blue. So here it's the, and closing tag. So here it's the ID selector, that the ID selector is header and it's given the hashtag header, and the background should be and the background color should be light blue, like the background color which I have selected, it is light blue. So here was the ID selector. Now the fifth one is, it's the group selector. It's the group selector, that what is a group selector. So basically group selector applies the same style to multiple elements, as we have discussed in the class selector and element selector, that in element selector we apply only to one element, but in group selector we apply the same style to multiple elements, like h1 comma h2 comma p. Here are the multiple elements and we apply the same color, that text, align, and the center. So here I have applied to the all elements. I have applied to all elements. So it was group element. That in group element you have to apply all the style colors to the all elements, like to the h1, h2, p, etc. Okay, now is the sixth one is the descent selector. That what is descent selector? Descent selector. Okay, so basically descent selector, when you select p element inside a div, like I will give an example, that when you select div p opening tag and the color is red, so here you select p element inside a div, like you select p inside a div and the color is red. So it was the descent selector. Now the last but not the least, it's the child selector. That what is a child selector? So in child selector you select only direct children liv inside ul, like we have discussed already the liv and the ul, the opening and the closing tags. The ul is greater li comma color, so a bracket color purple. So here basically you selected a direct children liv, and inside that the liv is inside the ul, that li is inside the ul and the ul contains li and the li contains the color and the color is purple. I hope you have got it. Okay, I will explain it again. So basically, like you have a ul and within the ul you have an li, and within the li you have some colors and some designs, that the color is blue, orange, purple, etc. So I hope you have now understand it. So these were the some examples and some of the types of our selectors. Now we will apply it on our Visual Studio Code. So I'll meet you in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm here in the Visual Studio Code and I have copy pasted the CSS selector file that I have given in our WhatsApp community. So I will give the link in the description box. So first of all you have to copy from there and paste it at here. So when you open the file, it contains a solution folder and 3 images. One is the goal, one is the index.html and one is the style.css. So when you go at the goal, so here is our goal. We have to do like this, that the CSS selector h1, the heading element and the colors. Like first the sentence is in red color, the second sentence is in the black color, the third one is the green color, the fourth one is the blue color, and the fifth one is also in the black color. So like this you have to apply colors on it. So when we go at the index.html, so here is our index.html, that we have to apply CSS to different parts of the HTML right here. And when we go at the solution, so here is our solution. We have to do like this, like the color first is the red, then the font size is 20px, the color is green, the third one color is blue, and the text align is the center. And when you go in the style.css, you don't have to ruin this, like the margin, it should be minus 40px and the margin top it should be minus 20x. You don't need to change this. And these are the two files, and here is the goal. So when you go at the style or solution.css, so when you start debugging or run on it, so here is our solution. Okay, so the site can't be reached, so we will again, it probably it doesn't, but sometimes the CSS file or the web doesn't work, so we'll do it again. You should do by pressing again and again. If it doesn't work, so we'll go at the second one, and when we run this one, so here it's also not working because my net is not properly working. So here you have to apply all the headings like the selectors, and you have to apply all the cursors on the selectors, like here set the CSS for a paragraph, but it is the solution. You have to not copy from here. Your main work is at here. Your work is in the index.html, but when you confuse, you can ask in the comment box, or you can go at the solution and check the solution. But you don't have to change this, the margin left and the margin top. It should be the same. It doesn't need to be changed. So I hope you have learned something new, and you have got to the point where we have got that what are CSS selectors and how are they used in our HTML or in our CSS. So from today or from onwards, we will discuss another lecture. So now you have understand the CSS selectors, and in the next video we will cover CSS colors and units. So stay tuned. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, and share this video if you found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.